All-Star 7 is one of my favorite seasons of Drag Race. The cast, the challenges, the format, the winners, what the winners represented to me were all so good. That, of course, did make me realize that no future season could ever live up to this season, or to any of the original winner seasons, seasons 3 and 5 respectively. However, and speaking of original seasons, I got to thinking, out of the 8 queens that competed on All-Star 7, which out of the lot did better on it? Meaning, which ones improved their competition performances from their winning seasons? Obviously, we can expect the 4 queens that were not in the top 4 to have done better on their original seasons, and the top 4 to have done better now, especially given that 2 out of the top 4 queens had abysmally small scores in their winning seasons, and the bottom 4 girlies are some of the strongest winners ever. This is the point system I use for regular seasons, and this is the point system used for All-Star 7. If you have any questions about the queen's individual scores, you can watch the playlist of my cast rankings. I will leave it in the description below. Let's start with the weakest competitor out of the 8, Jaida Legend Hall. Jaida, on her original season, which is season 12, earned 45 points out of the possible 60, aka 75% of the maximum score. Honestly, having earned about or more than 3/4 of the maximum points possible is very impressive. Given that All-Star 7 maximum points is 72, that means that Jaida has to have beat the score of 54, so she has to reach 55 points or more on this season. Let's see if she can do it. Jaida started out the season pretty slowly, with 2 safe placements in the verse writing and performing challenge, and then in the snatch game. However, her luck changes, and she not only places in the top 2 of episode 3 in the design challenge, but she also wins the lip sync against Trinity. Her luck changes again, and she places safe in 3 episodes in a row, in the Fairy Tale Justice Challenge, in Drag Race Speeches, and in Total Request Live. She gets a string of better placements in the next couple of episodes though. In episode 7, in another design challenge, she places in the top 2 again, but this time loses the top 2 lip sync against Trinity. In episode 8, in the acting challenge, she is high. Jaida is 25 points away from beating her original track record, and with 4 episodes left, she needs to earn the maximum in episodes 9, 10, and 11, 6 points each, and then she also has to earn 7 points in the last episode, which she can do by winning the season. Of course, none of that sadly happened. Next queen is Yvie Oddly. On season 11, Yvie earned 47 points out of the possible 65, meaning that she earned roughly 72.31% of the score. That means that in order to beat her original score, she has to have earned 53 points. A little fewer points than Jaida, but Yvie did earn more this season, so she could do it. Let's see if she does. Yvie started the season off with a high placement in the verse performing challenge. However, she then gets 2 safe placements in Snatch Game and in the design challenge. She gets another high placement in episode 4 when she portrayed a similar character to her Snatch Game character in the Fairy Tale Justice. But then she's safe again in episode 5 for the Drag Race Speeches. Yvie gets her first and sadly only top 2 placement in the season in episode 6 for Total Request Live. However, she does not get a win in this episode, meaning that she's the only queen in the season to have never won an episode. We're halfway through the season, and Yvie has not even reached half of the score she needs to beat. Knowing that she never places in the top 2 until the end, she does not beat the score that she set for herself on season 11. But maybe Roger, the winner of the She Done Already, etc., has a better chance at this. Raja on season 3 earned 44 points out of the possible 60, or roughly 73.33%. Thus, she also has to earn 53 points to beat her original score. And let's see what happens. Okay, so Roger gets a safe placement in the first episode with her verse, and then she gets 3 high placements in a row, being edged by the judges for seemingly no reason. Like, I still think she should have been in the top 2 for Snatch Game, but I'm okay with her placements in the design challenge and in Fairy Tale Justice. She gets a top 2 placement in episode 5, but not a win, after a really good performance in the Drag Race Speeches episode. She then gets to rest for a bit with 2 safe placements in Total Request Live first and Legendary Legend Looks. The latter kinda being confusing, not gonna lie. But in episode 8, she wins the top 2 lip sync against the Viv, after a fantastic performance from both in the acting challenge. Raja is at 32 points now, and she needs to earn 21 points the next 4 episodes to beat herself, which is doable. She just needs to earn at least 5 points in 3 episodes and at least 6 points in 1 episode. Yeah, but that does not happen, with Raja never placing above the high placement until the end. But hey, she at least won that bottom 4 thing. We go from one overlooked queen to maybe the overlooked queen of All Star 7, the Vivienne. Out of the 8 winners on this season, the Viv played the most dominant game of her winning season of Drag Race UK Season 1. She earned 28 out of the possible 35 points, or 80% of the maximum score. Given that she earned the same amount of points as Raja on All-Star 7, I don't think we need to look at her track record on this season in detail. However, now we get to the top 4 queens, out of which, as I've said, 2 have pretty low original winning scores. One of them is Shea Coulee. On her winning season, All Stars 5, she earned 22 points out of the possible 35, aka roughly 62.86%. Not even 2/3 of the score, sadly, but that means that her score to beat on All Star 7 is lower. She has to have earned 46 points in order to beat her winning season's track record. I think she has a chance of doing it. Shea starts off strong with a win in episode 1's verse performing challenge, being the first winner of the season. However, and as you probably remember, Shea never placed top 2 until the penultimate episode, when she was given 3 stars. We have a long way to go there, so let's list out her placements in order. Safe, high, safe. 3 high placements, safe, high, safe. With her win in episode 11, she's at 44 points. No matter how she places in the last episode, she beats her winning track record. With 4 points earned in the last episode, she's our first queen that did better on All-Star 7 than on her winning season. I just want to point out that neither of the 2 scores beat her track record on season 9. Next, we have Trinity the Tuck. On All Stars 4, her winning season, she earned 32 points out of the possible 48, earning exactly 2/3 of the maximum score. That means that on All Stars 7, she needs to earn more than 48 points in order to beat the score. Trinity has a very good start on this season, placing high in episode 1 and then in the top 2 in episodes 2 and 3, but without a win in the lip sync. Trinity then had a streak of 3 safe placements in episode 4 through 6, but she ended that streak with a win in episode 7. In that episode's design challenge. She then is high in episode 8's acting challenge, but safe in the dance like a drag queen challenge. She's in the top 2 in episode 10's Hall of Shade roast, but she does not get a win. She's pretty close to beating her original score. She's safe in the variety show in episode 11. Given that she was in the top 4 in the last episode, but did not win a lip sync, she ends the season with 48 points, not beating her winning season score, but matching it. Like, exactly, earning 66.6 recurring percent on both All-Star 7 and on her winning season. Monet is up next. Given that she has one of the weakest winning games with her win on All-Stars 4, I think she will surely beat her original track record. On All-Stars 4, Monet earned 26 points out of the possible 48, or 54.16 recurring percent of the score. That means that in order for her to beat her winning track record, she has to have earned 40 points or more. Monet starts the season very solid, with a top 2 placement in the verse challenge and a high placement in the snatch game. After that, however, she has a pretty mediocre run of 6 episodes, with 3 safe placements, 2 high placements, and 1 safe placement. Monet now is at 29 points, so she needs to earn at least 11 points in 4 episodes. Given that it's guaranteed she'll earn at least 3 points every single episode, we already know that Monet beats her original track record, and she beats it by quite a lot. She wins, then places high, then is in the top 2 for the last 2 episodes. As you can see, Monet beat her All-Stars 4 track record after the 11th episode. And last, but obviously not least, we have the winner of this season, Jinkx Monsoon. Jinkx's track record on her original season saw her earn 42 points out of the possible 55, or 76.36 recurring percent of the maximum score. That means that in order for Jinkx to beat her original track record, she has to have earned 55 points or more. Let's see if that does happen. Jinkx started the season off with a safe placement, but a mini challenge win that boosts her score by a tiny little bit. She then gets her first out of 5 top 2 placements in the season and first out of 3 wins, after her legendary performance in Snatch Game. She's safe yet again for episode 3's design challenge, but she does get a mini challenge win. She's in the top 2 in episode 4 and wins episode 5's maxi challenge, the graduation speeches. She then lets the other queens win a bit by being safe for 3 episodes in a row, but she returns to the top with episode 9's top 2 placement in the Dance Like a Drag Queen challenge. And she gets another win in episode 10's Hall of Shade roast. In the variety show, she's safe, so she is at at 48 points. Knowing that she won the season, thus knowing that she was in the ultimate top 2 and part of the top 4, Jinkx gets those well-deserved 7 points in the last episode. Just in time to beat her original score, but only by a little bit. On All-Star 7, Jinkx earned roughly 76.38% of the maximum amount of points, while on Season 5, just to remind you, 76.37%. So, the queens that did better in their original seasons are Jaida Legend Hall, Yvie Oddly, Raja, and Vivienne. Trinity the Tuck remains a curious case, given that she earned the exact same fraction of the maximum amount of points both times. Lastly, Shea Coulee, Monet X Change, and Jinkx Monsoon beat their original track records. And that's it! That's the video. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and maybe drop a comment of possible future video ideas I could do. Thank you for watching.